Hi y'all, welcome to Cuppy's Crochet Cove and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be making a cute little superhero puppy dog hat. I'm going to say it that way. And for today's project you are going to need, I always have problems with this so I'm just going to tell you, a size I or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Yellow yarn, white yarn, brown yarn, and I didn't pull this out because we're not going to need it until later, but 2 shades of gray yarn, scissors, a needle for sewing it all in, and a stitch marker. And this is what I'm using for a stitch marker instead of a regular one because it's just easier for me to use that. So let's jump right in. We're going to be making a magic circle or magic ring, whatever you want to call it, and chain 1. Now we're going to double crochet into our magic ring 10 times. 1, whoops, that would be a half double. 1, 2, and I'm having issues and this is going too slow, so I'm going to do this off camera and I will put my stitch marker in. So now I can officially say I will meet you back at the stitch marker for round 2. Round 2 is now complete. Turn my lights on so hopefully y'all can see a little better. We're going to pull that tail to get it nice and tight so that we won't have such a big circle on the bottom. And usually I continue to work in the round, but we're not going to do that today because I found that for me this works better. So into our first double crochet we're going to slip stitch, chain 2, and work 2 double crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2, replacing our stitch marker, and be careful to make sure you're putting your stitch marker into your double crochet, not into this chain row, because yeah, that'll mess you up. And 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and I'm going to continue to goof. Double crochet. I've been working in single crochets for a while, so it's kind of hard to flip back over to a double crochet. But 2 double crochets into your next, and so we don't have to sew in, just work over your tail. And you're going to go 2 into each double crochet all the way around for a total of 20 stitches, and I will meet you back at the stitch marker for round 3. Round 3. Now we are going to take out the stitch marker, slip stitch into your first double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same stitch, and 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around for a total of 30. And because I can see where my end here begins and ends, because we're not working in the continuous round, I'm not using my stitch marker anymore, and whenever I come back here I'm just going to slip stitch into there. So I will meet you back at the beginning of the round where we will continue with round 4. Oh, and at the end of this you'll have 30 double crochets. Be right back. Round 3 is now complete, so slip stitch to the first double crochet to join, chain 2, double crochet one time into this same stitch, one into the next, 2, and 2 double crochets into the third stitch, 3 and 4, and continue that same pattern all the way around. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and at the end of the round you should have a total of 40 double crochets, and I will meet you back at the beginning for round 5. So I'm guessing technically 1, 2, 3, 4. I was right. Sorry, I'm confusing myself here. 1, 2, 3. Yes, round 4 is now complete. Slip stitch to the top of that. Very first double crochet, chain 2. And round 5 we are going to double crochet into the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and into the next stitch we are going to double crochet 2 into the same stitch. So that's going to be 4 and 5, and you're going to continue this pattern all the way around until you get back to your first double crochet, and this will give you a total of 50 double crochets, and I will be right back for the next round. Okay, now if this is large enough for your liking, this is going to be for probably up to maybe a 12-month-old. So I'm going to make this particular hat a little larger, so I'm going to go with another increase row. So slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet into this same stitch, 1, and into the next 3, so that'll be 1, and this is 2, 3, 4, and 2 into the next double crochet. That'll be 5 and 6. So at the end of this round I will have a total of 60 double crochets, but if you want the smaller hat, don't increase. Now if you want yours even larger, do another round. At the end of this round, what you're going to do is join it, double crochet 7, wait a minute, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will double crochet 5 and then 2 into the next, and going all the way around you'll have a total of 70. So this round will be a total of 60, and if you increase to 70, that's how you're going to do it. But I'm stopping at 60, and I will meet you back at my imaginary stitch marker. And I'm sorry for going off camera, I didn't mean to do that. So double crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 into the next, and all the way around 60. Now meet you back at the imaginary stitch marker. Okay, now I have mine as large as I want it, so I just went along with that, increased. Now I have 60 all the way around, and I'm going to slip stitch into the next, chain 2. No matter what size you want your hat to be. This is now going to be about a toddler size, so 2 to 4, depending on your child's head. No matter what size you wanted yours to make, from now, what we're going to do is double crochet into that same stitch and in each one all the way around for the next 5 rounds. And I will meet you back here at the beginning or end, whatever it's called. I'll meet you back here after 5 rounds. Alrighty, so your project should be looking something like this. And I'm going to move my camera here a little. And scissors that I can never seem to find. Cut a long tail, not too long. I say that as I cut probably the longest tail in the world. Grabbing our white yarn and I'm going to hold my yellow, but we're going to slip stitch. I almost grabbed that yellow. And grabbing our white yarn and pulling through to make that the slip stitch. And I'm going to pull my tail on this way too long because I don't want to sew it in, but I want to lock in my white yarn. So now chaining 2, 1, 2, and my yellow's trying to pull apart. We mustn't have that. So into this same stitch where we just did that join, double crochet right over this working yarn here. And now that I'm pretty much, I'm not trying to get everything complicated, but I still want to have a long tail. That's why I did like that. And now on this double crochet, I'm going to pull this forward. Now grabbing our working yarn to complete that stitch. Okay, my yellow yarn wants to be goofy on me, so instead of crocheting over this, I'm going to sew the tail into it because I just don't want it to look bad. So, double crochet, and now I am going to crochet over the tail of the white. And we are going to double crochet all the way around and have your brown ready to go because we're only going to do 1 round of this white and then we're going to change to brown, and I will meet you back here at the beginning. Now that round is complete, I'm going to cut my white yarn, move it over to the side, grabbing my brown yarn. Ooh, getting a long piece. Cutting off the end of my yarn here because it just looks scraggly. Now taking this, I forgot, I'm going to join. I don't remember how I did the last one, but I'm going to slip stitch, leaving it there, grabbing my brown. Where's the end? It's all tight and wonky. Long tail. Now, pulling that through and using my long tail, I'm going to chain 2. If it'll cooperate. And I'm going to start my pulling that, and I'm going to start my double crochet with the tail into that same join space. Now grabbing my working tail, I'm pulling all that to the front. Now grabbing my working yarn, there we go, 1 double crochet, and into the next, working over that yarn, both of those tails. So hopefully I don't have to sew it in. If I do, I do. If I don't, yay. I still haven't sewn in my yellow tail back here, but again, I'll do that later. So we're going to double crochet in each double crochet all the way around. Didn't realize I was tipping my camera. But anyway, we're going to do this all the way around, and then whenever you get done with this round, do that in the same color. We're not changing, all the way around again. So 2 rows of brown, and I will be right back. Alright, my 2 rounds are now complete. Slip stitch into that first double crochet, and I'm not going to cut. I'm going to continue working right along here at our seam. You're going to chain 1, and into that first double crochet where you did your chain 1 in that same stitch, you're going to single crochet and 9 more across for a total of 10. So there's 2. Yarn wants to split. I can live with that. 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, I just realized I'm getting off camera. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, chain 1, and turn. Now into the very first single crochet, you're going to go in, yarn over, pull up a loop. In the second one, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and go through all 3 loops. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to do the same thing in the last 2 loops that we did in our first 2 stitches, excuse me. Going in, yarn over and pull up. Same thing, going in, yarn over, pull up, pull through all 3 loops, chain 1, turn, single crochet into all 8 stitches, including this very first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait a minute, 6, yeah, 7, 8, I was thinking and lost track. Chain 1, turn. Now into these first 2, we're going to do the same thing as we did on the last decrease. Just 1, 2, and pull through both of those loops, single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, stop right there, do a decrease on the last 2. Now we've got 6 stitches, so chain 1, turn, single crochet into each of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 and turn. Decrease into this first and second stitch. Single crochet 1, 2, and a decrease in the last. If I can get my stick, that's what I was going to say. Chain 1 and turn. Now you've got 4 single crochets, single crochet through all 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to cut this tail, pull that out. No, I still haven't sewn my other tail in from the yellow. It's still poking out. So now folding this in half, and now I'm going to insert my stitch marker because I'm doing a guesstimate here. I'm not going to tell you to count over X amount of rows. That looks about even to me. Right here. So this is where I'm going to go in at. But no, I'm not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because I want it to be even on both sides, so I'm going to hold this. No, I'm not. I'm going to recount it. I know me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Putting in my stitch marker. Now, I'm going to pause, you guys. Now y'all go back and rewind because you're going to do the exact same thing now as you just did here. And I will meet you back whenever I get my second ear flap finished. Well, almost the same thing. You know, I'm going to go in with mine. And again, I'm going to use my long tail to chain 1 and double crochet, or single crochet into that same stitch. And now that I have my long tail locked in, now I'll do my 10 all the way across, crocheting over that tail, and I will meet you back after I finish this flap. Okay, now I've got my other ear flap completed. I'm going to cut a long tail. You don't have to, because what you can do now, if you would like, single crochet all the way around the hat, but I'm not going to do that. What we are going to do now, I am not going to thread up a needle. That's what I'm not going to do. I am going to do a cheat here instead of grabbing my, what you call it, my needle. And I'm going to pull through on both of these into the second stitch just to kind of lock it in, because I'm going to use my tails later. Because what you're going to do now is take all 3 yarns together. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I'm not going to show you how to do this on camera because it's too much, but you're going to take all of these together and pull and cut all 3 until they're about 40 inches. And then you're going to do that one more time, and that's what we're going to use to, that's what I'm using my tails for, is whenever I sew it up on the end. Anyway, you're going to take those 3 and you're going to cut this about, these 3 strands about 40 inches, and then you're going to do that again, and we're going to insert these into these middle ones where we're going to braid. And I guess I should have cut my yarn already, but I'll be back in a minute to show you how we're going to do that. Okay, now how I did mine, 1, 2, and I went ahead and pulled this in, and now getting in the middle here. Try and do this on camera, but of course it never works out that way. So taking my hook, trying to get all that through and pulling it out. Of course I'm going to have that brown one that doesn't want to come through. Let's see how this worked out. Getting it kind of even-ish on the ends. I'm happy with that. Now, keeping this over here. I'm not going to fool with it right now. Let's see. I got a yellow, white, and brown. Yellow, white, and brown. Put this little guy over here. I've got 3 here. Yellow, white, brown here. And now I'm going to put a yellow here, a white here, a brown here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Now off camera, because these are long, I'm going to hold this between my knees so that we can braid these together to have a long, yeah, and it's not coming out real pretty right now, but again, I'm going to do this between my knees, so I'll be right back. Actually, I won't. I will, but I won't. I'm going to loop this over a few times, like so. So it'll be a good little grab there, and once I have it where I want it, and I'm losing it here, just keep going around and around and pulling through all that stuff at the top. And I'm going to leave mine in just like that. Give it a little roughish looking look. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to sew my tail in here. Y'all don't have to do that if y'all don't want to. I just thought it would be interesting. And if it doesn't work, who knows, I'll undo it. But anyway, I'll be back. And you're also going to do the same thing on this flap as you did here. Now, I'll be back. Alright, now that I'm at the end of my braid here, y'all see I'm not real good at braiding. So I'm going to take, I'm going to take these 2, tie this up at the end, tug on that. I don't want to get it too wonky looking here at the bottom. And I'm going to take this one here and tie these up together. If it'll cooperate. My fingers never want to cooperate with what I see in my head, and then I try and do it and it doesn't work out so well. Tie that together. And taking these again and tying these together. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'll be back, and you're definitely going to need now your dark gray yarn and light gray yarn so that we can make a little patch for him on the front. Alrighty, now if you would like to make the patch to go on for the puppy paw pad thing, here we go. Dark gray yarn, we are going to chain 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, single crochet into the next chain for 10 all the way across. And I'm going to do this off camera, so I'll be back in a second. I keep having to pull my camera back up because it keeps trying to drop on me. Pulling more yarn here. I'm using mine from a project I'm frogging. So we are going to chain 1, turn, and into the first single crochet we're going to go in, yarn over, go in the next, yarn over for decrease, single crochet in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to decrease on the end. 1, 2, and all 3 loops go through together. Chain 1, turn, and I'm looking. Single decrease all the way down. 1, 2, single crochet, I'm sorry, not single decrease. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chain 1 and turn. Decrease. 1, 2 together. Single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Decrease the end. 1, 2, together. Chain 1 and turn. Single crochet across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 and turn. Get more yarn here. Decrease. 1, 2, single crochet. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, together. Chain 1 and turn. Decrease. 1, decrease. 2, chain 1 and turn, single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2, chain 1, turn, and decrease, 1 and 2, chain 1. Now into your 1 single crochet, you are going to single crochet 1, 2, and single crochet all the way down the side. I'm not going to count this because you might come out different from me, or I may come different from you. And keep going. Normally I do this off camera, but I'm about to be that way. And I'm almost down to the corner now. So now into the first corner, you're going to single crochet 2 into that corner. Mine doesn't look that great, but so I'm going to come back and this is going to be my corner. Now going along the bottom, you're going to continue this all the way around, and in each corner that's going to get 2 single crochets. Once you get back up here to the top, slip stitch into your very first stitch and sew that in. Moving on, I'm not going to put this on mine. I'm going to grab a smaller hook. This is a G. Grabbing my lighter gray, and I will be right back. Okay, so now with my smaller hook, 4.25, I am going to make a magic circle. Hopefully this will work out for me. Chain 1 and single crochet 5 into your circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pulling it tight so we don't have a circle in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this first space. Slip stitch. And I'm just going to tell you, pull through and make 2 more of these guys. I'm not going to do this for my hat, but I just wanted to show you how to do it. So you're going to make a total of 3 of these. And place them on your thing here, your little triangle. Sew those on. Now making the large paw pad. Magic circle, magic ring, whatever you would like to call it. Chain 2, 1, 2, and double crochet into your magic circle 10 times. There's 1 and 2, and I'm not going to pull out any more yarn, but you are going to go all the way around. Pull your string tight, and at the top I know this is wonky trying to do it this way, but at the top of your very first stitch, you're going to slip stitch and sew it all on up like this. And with your long tail that you have, look at your hat and flatten it. I'm going to have this side as the back since I still haven't sewn this on. Place your paw in the middle and sew that little guy all the way around, and I might go ahead and do that for this one, I don't know, but there you go. I'm not going to add ears onto here because I just don't feel like it. But if you go back, I have another video where I made the green one. You can follow right along with that pattern to do his little ears. I'm on a time crunch. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed making this cute little superhero puppy dog hat, as I'm calling it. And mine came out kinda bigger than what I expected it to because I used a 5.0 millimeter hook. You can go up and down on your crochet hooks. You can increase and decrease. Get crazy with it. Use your imagination. And I will see you back later. I hope you have a good morning, noon, night, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. And may you all be blessed. Bye.